This video is on the individual exercise of Route 63 for Chapter 11, the plan profile sheet creation. It calls for us to open the plan profile sheet. I'm in it. You can see that we have the profile for Road 1 up top, and we have the Route 63 down below, and that's what we're going to work on is the Route 63. You also see with the plan, on the plan views that we have over here, we've got the Road 1, which has shapes around it already from doing the group exercise. And you can see the shapes up here, the ports for the profile up on that one. So on the Road 1 profile as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back and do the individual exercise for Route 63. So first thing it calls for is the Open Project Manager. So I'm going to go to my GEOPAK Road Tools, open them up, and go to my Project Manager. This will be located on the right side of your toolbars, more than likely. Okay, so once I've opened it up, the project manager, I need to navigate to where the PRJ is found, and that is actually up a directory. So I'm going to go up by double clicking the double dots, and it brings me to all the data folders that we have out there for the class exercises. And then I can navigate down to project. Okay, when I open project up, the J2P0200 PRJ becomes available. I'm going to edit it, make sure it's pointing in the right direction. I'm pretty confident it's where it's supposed to be and everything's pathed correctly, but this is something you need to check before you go into it. So I'll go project, edit, open up the dialog. The working directory should be blanked out. I'm going to hit the select button, make sure I got the J2 or the 200 GPK out there available for us, and it is. So I'll hit OK. And the next thing I want to check is my preferences, and under that I want to make sure my Kogo preferences is cleared out as well, and it is. So everything's good. We set it up for the Road 1, so Route 63 should fall right into place. It's the same job basically. So once this is here, we can hit the OK button, and that will make sure that our PRJ was following the right settings. So once we have that filled out and checked it and it looks good, we'll hit OK, move to the next dialog, and we'll pick the user for this project, which is in step 3, and we're going to pick the class user. So we'll hit OK, and that'll bring up the rather large road dialog box that was from the previous version of SS2. So what we're going to do is in step 4, it tells us to pick the Plan and Profile Sheets button, and that's what we'll do. So we'll click on that. I'm finished with this large dialog. If I can minimize it, I will, but I can't yet. So coming over to this, we get a run picker to pick the run that we're going to work with, and that's in step 5. And what we want to do is copy a run that's out there, and we're going to copy the 50 scale. We're going to do an I-50 project. So we'll do a run, copy, run, and then in there we'll pick the 50. And when you pick it and hit OK, now you can name it. We're going to call this Route 63, just like so. And we could put a scale in there, 50 scale, if you need to. 50 scale, just to give you an idea what's going on. Hit OK. Route 63 is there, tells me my 50 scale. I've got the run set up. All I need to do is hit the OK button, and that will open up our sheet tool. Okay, sheet tool pops up over on the right side. Now I can minimize that other dialog. It's out of the way. So in here we got a couple things we need to look at. First thing we want to do is set up our ports, and before we set up our ports, we want to make sure we got the right sheet that is assigned to us as part of step 5. So right now it's at full plan. We want to do a plan profile, so let's change that. Plan profile, 50 scale is perfectly fine. And then the next part that we want to do is the layout sheet buttons. So we'll click this. It will bring up the port tool again, where we can go out and assign the ports the proper alignment and proper profile. So first one is the plan, so we'll double click on that one. It has Road 1 defaulted. We want to do a Route 63, so we'll choose that one and we'll hit OK. So that first port is already is ready to go, but now we need to do the second port. And you notice after I picked the first one, the layout sheets down here is 5 sheets planned for that area, for that whole Route 63. Okay, now we'll go ahead and do the profile part of it, and this is on step 6, where we'll double click on the profile, identify the cell. So we'll double click the profile, dialog pops up. We'll go ahead and identify the cell, and we're looking for the Route 63 one, which is on the bottom of our view. We'll identify it, accept it. Everything changes except for that profile name, and we do need to change that to Route 63. So everything pretty much changed except for that. So make sure we got a Route 63 profile. Stationing, elevation, horizontal scale, vertical scale, the X, Y, everything comes off of that cell that we chose by doing this. Okay. Okay, so once we have that, we can go ahead and hit the OK button. And now we can see that port has also been populated. Okay, so once we're done with that, then all you have to do is come down after both ports are populated, hit the layout 5 sheets button, and it will go out and populate your sheets. Again, you can manipulate these sheets and move them around. You can move the plan however you want. You can come to the profile, move them around. They're linked. You move one, the other one will go with it, since we're doing a plan profile. So that kind of works pretty nicely. Once you have your sheets out here and you're ready to go, you're done with this dialog, so we can close it. What we need to do now is go to the next icon, which is the clip sheets, so we can create these sheets. So we'll bring up the clip sheets tool. The directory we want to place it in is that data folder that we're working in, which is at data 11. So we'll go ahead and path that. And go to your Randolph folder, J2P0200, and data 11. So we'll path that out. Now the sheet prefix name that we're going to use for this is PL for plan, PR for profile, and then we're going to do an underscore route 63, and we're going to give it another underscore so that we'll have the one on one.dgn will show up there, and we won't have 631. We'll have a route 63 underscore 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for the sheets that we create. Okay, so once that's done, we'll go to the next option with orientation. We're going to rotate the view. Sheets per file, we want one. We want to use the active model, this model here, to get them. Sheet range says 1 to 8, but we have 5 sheets. It's using some other information. So we're going to take 1 as the start, and we'll stop at 5. Actually, we're going to stop at 5 sheets. Actually, let's do just a couple. Let's do 3 sheets. So we'll do 1 to 3, and we'll give it a sheet title. And when it's asking for the title down here, it's asking for the county, so that is Randolph. So we'll fill that in. The project number. And in the match line again, we'll use STA period and a space. Okay, and that'll put this piece of text in front of any match line stationing that we have out there. Okay, so once you have that, all you need to do now is hit the Process Sheets button. And it's going to go out. It's going to open up the border file. It's going to ask us read only. Do we want to do it? Here it is. There's the border file. We'll say OK to that. And then it's going to continue to process, and it's going to create the individual sheets. And we'll open one up and look at it when it's finished. It's populating the title block. And it looks like it's not responding, but it's actually working in the background. And we were almost there. Okay, so the tool's basically finished. We created a few sheets. I'll go back to ProjectWise and look. You can see now, instead of having just a PL, PR, Road 1, 2, and 3, we now have a Route 63, 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to go back to Microstation for a moment, and I'm going to close out of some tools. Get rid of this sheet tool, and I'm finished with this, so I'll go ahead and close it. Sure, I'll save my settings for that Route 63 user preference file. Okay, so now we'll go back into ProjectWise, And let's look at sheet number 2, PLPR Route 63_2. Check in. And here we are. So now we got sheet number 2 that we created. It's station 15 to 25, somewhere around there. Our match lines came in with the station period number, our stationing there. Oh, you see there's some cleanup work, as always. There's always cleanup work with this. We'll go ahead and clean some things up. Looks like our notes came in correctly. So this is a pretty simple cleanup. What we'll do is we'll go out and we'll turn off some levels and manage some levels. So first thing I do with the level display is make sure I change my filter to use filters so I can see what I got going on, especially if I'm going to click in some sheets down here. Okay, so I'll also enlarge it. So I'm going to right click down here and do off by element. I'm going to turn off this white shape that goes around the profile. I'm going to turn off the red shape that goes around the plan. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is turn on in the titles in the border file. I'm going to turn on the profile part so I can see my major grid lines down there. Let's see if I can find them. Minor grid lines, major. Let's see what this one. Not the right one. Plan profile, major grid lines. That's the one I'm looking for. So that gives me my grid lines out here. We're good. Next thing that I would want to do is I'm going to close out a level display. I got things that I want to show shown. I might want to bring in a north arrow. Again, you want to turn on your AccuDraw. Make sure it's out. And then you go to your tasks. And what we're looking for is, let's go back to the MoDOT Design CAD Standards. And I'm going to close the annotation one up and look for the graphic scales and north arrow, which I can come out and place a north arrow just by clicking on it. Now the thing is we've got 50 scale sheets, and right now I got it set up at 100. So let's go ahead and change this to 50 annotation scale and try that again. I can tell by the way the arrow's coming in that I've got the top view, which is good. If it wasn't the top view, it would be looking like this, and that would be wrong because most of our north arrows really don't go straight north on our sheets. You may get lucky every now and then, but if it comes up like this, it's a T for top, okay, or V for view. Okay, give us north with the view or with the top. So wherever you want to place your north arrow, you just select it. You also have in there, we could place graphic scales, 10-foot graphic scales down in your profile if you wanted. The cleanup is entirely up to what you want to see, but this is pretty much it for the plan profile sheets for the individual exercise for chapter 11.